Hello and welcome to the Fit and Fabulous at Any Age podcast. I'm here today with my co-host, my mom, Camille, 57, super fit, awesome mom. We're talking about today what was our subject? We're going to talk about today about what we do when we start a fat loss phase. I thought this was really a good thing to
Sure.
talk about because, Mom, you're about to start prepping for a show. I've been cutting, well, I've been in, I guess, I went through a fat loss phase. I've been doing shows, and what we do to, I don't know, some of the habits that we pick up on or the things that we dial in.
Yeah.
So you kind of talk about what are some things that you do, like immediately when you know that you're about, like when you're like trying to just lose we just talked about this, that last like 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 8 pounds,
Yeah.
because that can be sometimes the hardest to come off. So like, what is the
Oh, yeah.
first thing you start doing?
One of the first things I start doing because I am going to be starting my prep is I really have to dial my food in. Like when I'm just kind of maintenance or I'm really building, I'm trying to build some muscle. So I put on a little bit of weight, probably 3 or 4 pounds. I can be a little bit easier with my food. I can just eat more carbs, funner foods. And when I'm beginning my prep, which prep, you just go in different levels of your prep. But when you start, you really dial in your food. And I get my nutrition, I really focus on more whole meats and foods. Like I make sure I've got my yams or my sweet potatoes with my protein. And I have all of my meals. One thing that I'm really good at is I love eating the same foods. To me, that's a big deal. For me to be successful is I really keep a lot of my meals the same, and some people think that's boring, but for me, it keeps it easy and simple, and my body likes it. And like I'm always eating eggs. I'm cottage cheese and egg whites together. Oh, so that's one of my main meals. I eat oatmeal and protein powder in the morning. I start having sweet potatoes or yams cut up along with my chicken or my steak, or I love ground beef. And so I always get my meals, my very consistent. And then I love cream of rice and egg whites. So I really hone in on my meals. And then for any extra carbs, I can do funner foods. But my first level to start my prep and really start losing weight is just making my meals more consistent. And that means I don't always eat with my family at home, my husband and my daughter. And I just always have my food in the fridge and ready to go. And so that's one of my easiest things when I start prep is I make sure my foods are prepped other than, I mean, I do make some fresh at home, but then I always have fresh prepped foods in the fridge, meats, potatoes, cream of rice. I mean, there's always stuff like that for me to grab and eat. So, and then when I'm on the go, it's always in baggies, ready to go with me instead of, being a little bit easier and being able to grab a sandwich when I'm out and about. So I just get more
Yeah,
consistent with my food, the same meals. So, yeah.
yeah, that's honestly it's kind of what I do. Like I just like I keep it really basic. Like I feel like the more complicated you make it, the more overwhelmed you're gonna feel. So like I just am so basic. Like right now I'm just ground turkey. I do ground turkey with like chicken, and then I don't know, Brecken loves salmon, so we do that like once or twice a week. And then I do my sweet potatoes, my yellow potatoes, and eggs, oatmeal. I mean, I'm so basic. People are like, "What do you eat?" I'm like, "You probably would be bored, but I like it. It satiates me, and it's simple." And then I have fruit, right? I do a lot of fruit for my carbs because my carbs are high now on my leg
So,
days because
yeah.
I'm trying to build my glutes back out. Um, but yeah, I think like the more simple you make it, the easier it is because I feel like people just try to overcomplicate it, and I don't know. But you always make like really fun recipes sometimes though.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I'm just tired, and it's really nice to have the basics just ready and available. And so, another really yummy food that I make, and it totally fits in all of my macros, and it's a healthy one, is just my protein pancakes. I mean, I do egg whites, oatmeal, and cottage cheese with a little bit of baking soda, mix that, or baking powder, mix that up, and I make a pancake, a big pancake out of that. I put my peanut butter on top, my sugar-free syrup, and raspberries. Oh, and a little bit of Ready Whip, sugar-free whipped cream, and it is the yummiest, sweetest. Oh, so yeah, I do make some foods really fun and yummy, and those things make it easier to just whip it into shape. And yeah, I do have some yummy foods and yummy recipes. And as I get more into prep, I remember those things, because you do have to remember those things that you like as your macros get a little bit tighter. But yeah, I think consistency is the biggest thing, is just keeping your meals basic, consistent. Even time of day makes a difference with me. I mean, my body is used to eating at the same time of day, and that keeps me to where I don't overeat at night. And yeah, I'm really
Timing
regular.
of your food, like staying on top of like your meal times and stuff.
My meal times, it really makes a difference, because if I don't eat enough during the day, then I'm hungrier at night. And so I really have
Yeah.
to stay on top of every 2 to 3 hours. I mean, I just went to the gym. I came home, I had eggs, and a piece of Dave's Killer Bread. And then I'm good for another couple hours. But I have to be really careful with my timing, because that's important. I don't ever want to get too hungry, because that's when it's easier to lose yourself with other food. You're just so hungry. So it's important to keep yourself, like you say, satiated throughout the day. And I keep my meal times very regular. But then I am at home all day, so I can. But I know with Dakota, she packed her meals when she would go to work. And
Hmm.
so we just kept her times when she ate. And I know it's doable. You just have to be more on top of your food. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that that's like, that's kind of key. I feel like a lot of people,
very
they're
key.
like, they think we do this like, it's like this crazy like overhaul. And it's like, no, we literally just like
Very
lock it
basic.
in and we just make it simple and basic.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, I just find that the simpler the better. That's what I always tell my clients. They're like, well, "What do you eat?" I'm like, honestly, it's just simple. Like I don't have crazy amount of time to like always think about. And I feel like the simpler you make it too, the less I call it the decision fatigue. The less decisions you have to
Yes.
make about your food,
Yeah.
right? And the less like macro Tetris that you have to play because you already know. Well, when I eat beef and sweet potatoes and pickles, or like I know that's like your thing, mom. Like it's gonna be this many macros, right? And I feel like
Right.
when you can just be simple and basic like that, it's just better overall.
Well, and you find those foods that you like and that your body likes. And so it's easy, because you just know it's going to be for dinner, and it sounds good. Like last night I had pork, and it was just easy. It was already pre-made, and yeah, some of those things are just basic and easy. That
Hmm.
that ground beef bowl, I mean, that's one of Dakota's. It's ground beef, cottage cheese, yams or sweet potatoes, and then you add everything but bagel seasoning on top. So yummy. And then um, the sugar-free pickles are really good on top of it. And then avocado. I don't know. There's some things that the macros, and they just fit perfectly, and they're just an easy dinner. They're high in protein, and your body likes them. And so you look forward to them. Funny, you look forward to those meals, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, give me a little insight of like what are some of the things that you do, like foods that you make that you're like these are my staples when I'm starting cutting, like what are your main staples? Or now that you're kind of locking things up, or anytime you lock things up, like what are some of your main staples that you focus on?
I, it's funny because probably like you, sometimes certain meats I don't like. And so lately I've been liking ground beef and I do a very lean cut ground beef. And I have that in my fridge. I have yams or sweet potatoes, whatever the orange one is. It's labeled differently in stores, and those are so yummy. Sometimes those are so good with cinnamon. And yeah, the meals, I have my eggs and toast, my oatmeal and protein powder. I've got my pancakes that I make that are so yummy. I do those hamburger bowls, those are yum. Another really yummy one is, and not everybody likes raw fish, but I love poke and I love raw tuna. So I will go and get sushi grade tuna and I'll cut it up, make my own poke bowl with a little bit of
Mm,
quinoa and the yam
that sounds.
and avocado. I'll do cottage cheese and
I wish we lived closer. Have you make me dinner
it's,
or lunch?
I know, it's so yummy. But some of those things you just figure out, and it takes years to figure out what your favorite foods are. And poke bowls where we
Hmm.
live, there's not a place to get those here. So when you had said you were making poke bowls, it was last year, I think. You got
Last year
your
I was like,
tuna from Costco. So then I went and got some, and I've made it even better. And boy, it is yummy. So you just kind of find your things that you like, and then you find your sauces. Like, um, what is it, Hughes? The sugar-free sauces like Polynesian,
yep.
barbecue. Those are always good to flavor your food. And I keep my sodium the same, and I don't ever keep salt out. So it's different for everybody. So for me, my body needs the salt. I keep that in my food and just keep my sodium the same. I keep my fiber somewhat the same. I have a fiber drink every night, and that helps. I'm trying to, I eat string cheese, which is funny. I eat fat-free string cheese.
They
That's
have
another.
fat-free string cheese?
Yeah. Yeah, they're like 50 calories and yeah, they're really
Jeez.
yummy. Yeah, so those to me are a yummy treat. And I'll have that with my collagen little drink, and that's good. Yeah, I've just found little things along the way that my body likes and that fills me up. And then I drink my water. I get really consistent with my water. I keep that about 5 to 6 glasses a day, or like the 14-ounce glasses. And
Yeah.
I keep my pop the same. And yes, I still drink pop. I still have my energy drinks. And I just
For
dial
those of
in my,
you who don't know what pop is, it's soda.
yeah, oh yeah, soda, soda. Yeah, it's
I
soda.
know people don't know that. They're like, "What is a pop?" And I'm like, "They're like, where are you from?" I'm like,
It's,
"From Idaho."
yeah. So, but I think that's with everything. It's just the more consistent you are and the basic, the better it is. I think it's the same with working out. It's just the basics are the best and
Yeah.
consistency. So you just dial that in because when I've got a lot more food I can eat, I kind of let it get away from me. But when I'm ready to dial it in and start prep, I I get everything just ready for me to go and hit it.
Yeah.
And you do
It
have to
makes a
get your
difference.
mindset. Yeah, yeah, and you do have to get your mindset there. Like it's all you have to get there. Like you get your mind
Yeah.
there, you get your body there, and you really have to start listening to very uplifting things. And that's important too, because
Yeah,
you're going to be doing
that's
this for
the
two or
hard
three
part.
months.
Well,
What?
so what do you do when you're dealing with that? Like when you're in the middle of like trying to get your head right, like what are some things you start to do maybe different or that help you with that?
Well, my mind can go all over the place, and I can be like, oh, I don't. I'm like, do I really want to do this fall? I mean, do I? And yet I absolutely love it. Like we were just talking earlier, I love it so much and it keeps me focused and happy. And then I had some girl come up to me at the gym and like just this morning and she's like, "Are you pro yet?" And I started to laugh and I'm like, "No, my daughter is. My other daughter's getting there." I said, "But I'm not." I said, I want to, but for me, I think it'll just take me time." It's like, "You need to keep going. You need to get that. You're going to get that." And I'm like, so it seems like
I love
anytime
it.
you are ready to hit something, somebody says something to you. You're like, right, that this is what I love. I mean, oh yeah, hell yeah. So I have to start listening to, I really have to get my mindset right because my life can get so busy with kids and everything in their lives. And we've had a lot of kids visit this spring and I'm tired. And, you just sometimes think, do I want to do this? I'm so tired. But then you realize how much you love it and how exciting it is when you start it and you start that goal again. And something about starting it. You really start, like I swear, everything. I'm one of these people that believes everything comes at you when you start a goal. Like I do believe that. Like people will just come out of the woodwork and they'll say things to you that you need to hear that get you on board because it is hard to start a goal and to know you're going to be sacrificing easier foods. Like my food is not just at maintenance right now. I'm at a surplus. And so when you start thinking, okay, I've got to lock it in, you do have to get your mind there. Um, and so I have to start listening to really good things like, oh, hell yeah, we're getting there again. We're winning. We're not gonna not get there. And so we're gonna do this again. We're gonna get there. So there's so many good reels out there. Like they just get you pumped up and motivated, and then you just got to keep getting there. And every day, I swear somebody will say something to you, or you'll have a thought in your head. And yeah, I started visualizing last week, and that gets me excited. But I'm kind of like where you're at, Brooklyn. It's like, oh, like even though you've been on pro stage, you're pro, you're going to take a little bit of time off and you've got to get back there. And
Yeah.
you've really got to get that fight back in you. It's that fire and it comes, but you just have to get your mind there. Like you do all the things, but to get your mind there and to get that fire back in you, sometimes it takes time. It's like you're doing the grind, you're doing the work, but to get that fire back in you, it sometimes takes time because you work your ass off and sometimes you don't see the success yet, but you will. So you just have to be patient with yourself and, oh, I'm going to cry, but just keep telling yourself you're going to get there. And just believe that it's going to happen because sometimes it's hard to start it. And it's like you're starting all over again. Sometimes I swear it is just like that. You were starting all over again. And even though you've done it over and over, you've got to get your head back in that space again. So it takes
Yeah.
sometimes a lot more than other times. And you just have to be patient and give yourself grace, like we've talked about before, and know that it's going to happen. And just keep hitting it. Just keep doing those things day by fucking day. And that's what it takes. The grind, a lot of people don't see the grind. Sometimes you aren't feeling it through the grind, but you're doing it. And so you just keep going. What do you do to get there, Brooklyn? Because you're kind of in that spot right
Oh,
now.
it's like the worst time to ask me, but maybe the best is what people need to hear. I think sometimes you just have to fight through it. Like there's a lot sometimes there's a lot of voices in your head that can say like, what's the point? Like why do we
Yeah,
keep going? Like
you know,
probably should just quit. Those voices can get really loud, especially in the middle or maybe even at the beginning or you're starting, back onto your journey again or whatever it is. Those voices for me get really, really loud. like, oh man, like, here we go again. Like, for me, it's like, is this worth it? Like, do I want to keep doing this? And I always just have to, like Jordan always says, he's like, well, if you want it, if it's something that's important to you, like you just keep working towards it. And I think sometimes like you just have to put your actions before your feelings, because
Right.
if you lean into your feelings all the time, like you're never going to get anywhere. And that's one thing I've learned with, I feel like, competing, building a business, like anything I've accomplished, it's like no matter how I feel, it doesn't matter, because I still have to show up and do the actions. Because if I leaned into my feelings every day, I wouldn't go to the gym. I wouldn't
Right.
do
Very
cardio. I
true.
wouldn't eat good. I would be eating shit all day long because I feel like it, right? So if you're always leaning into the way you feel, you're probably not going to accomplish much of anything. So you have to put your actions over your feelings, because your feelings are one thing. Like I think it's important to honor like how you feel, like in the sense of like,
It
I
is.
just told you I won't lie, I've been feeling pretty depressed since last week. I even just being on a trip, I just feel like, just it's just a feeling of like pure depression. Like I just feel really down. And it's like, but at the same time, I still went to the gym 5 days
Right.
last week. I still got my walking in. I still tracked my food. Same thing this week, like back at it, like, because I understand that if I just let that feeling of just, man, this sucks, if I let that take over, I'd be in a really bad spot right now. And I would, in a month from now, be in an even worse spot. So I think for a lot of women that are, on the struggle bus, or they're just starting, like, start with the actions first. And however you feel that day, put your actions before your emotions, because your emotions, especially as women, like they're like this. And if you're a female who still menstruates and you still have like different phases of your cycle,
Yeah.
you're gonna have times of the month where you feel really shitty and you don't want to do anything. But guess what? Your body doesn't know the difference between you taking 2 weeks off because you had a bad period month and you pushing through anyway. So just push through anyways and you'll get there. But I think a lot of women, and I'm not saying that like it's because we're emotional, but kind of like we lean into our feelings so much, we let them take over everything, that we displace our action, and then we just say, why am I not at my goals yet? Well, it's because you let your emotions take over completely. I have learned that, I mean, I have PMDD. If you guys don't know what PMDD is, PMDD is a severe premenstrual mood disorder. So I was diagnosed by my
Oh,
therapist, my psychologist. I also have PCOS. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and they're very intertwined. Most women who have PMDD have PCOS. It's a big, really what happens, my serotonin and my dopamine levels, so basically my happy hormones coming into my menstrual cycle, go to like a zero. They go to like a baseline zero, which means I have little to no happiness in my body. I get severely depressed. I get a really bad intrusive thoughts. And the only thing that gets me through those is literally me just showing up every day regardless of how I feel. Because when I pull out on the end, when my cycle's over, I'm like, or when my cycle starts, because that's when it comes back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like a normal person again.
yeah.
But I've learned to do that, because on the other end of the spectrum, where would I be in my life if I just leaned into my emotions and my feelings all the time? So I think it's important to like, feel the feelings and be
Right.
sad, and be like, for me, I'm like, I'm recognizing I'm depressed. I feel sad. Like this sucks. I don't like feeling defeated. I don't like feeling like I'm not reaching my goals. But what's on the other side of that? Do I just quit and just live with me quitting, or do I keep going and be consistent and give it my best regardless of how I feel? So that's that's what helps me, is just not letting my emotions and my feelings take over always, because if I'm being honest, I probably would have more days of quitting than not.
Well, and those times that people have lived through that they've allowed that to engulf them, like it takes over in your life if you let it. And so when you've got to the other side of it, a couple times in your life, you learn from that. Like you learn, I'm not going to let this get me down this time. And one of the cool things that, and I know we've all heard this, but when you go to the gym, um, your body actually releases these hope molecules. Like when you lift your muscles, when you actually move your muscles, your body releases these happy endorphins, but they're these hope molecules. they enter in your body and they look like it is the cutest thing. I don't know if you've seen them, but it looks like they're walking along like DNA or something, and their little feet are walking along, and it's like they're holding a string and it's that big molecule, but they're carrying that. And so that's what your body releases when you exercise or when you go for a walk or when you move those muscles. And so it's really cool because it is a very physiological thing that happens when you actually work out and you push through those, like those feelings of, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, or do I really want to do this again? There's another study that's released that when you do something scary, there's things in your brain that are actually released, and they make new paths in your brain and your neurological pathways. And it's cool because all these things are very, like, they're psychological. They're real things that happen in your body when you push through hard things in your life. It happens. And so that's why you go to the gym. And even though you still feel that way, little by little, your body will get better. I go to the gym and it makes me, even though there are days that I still just feel like, meh, but I go to the gym and it does make me feel better. It makes me happier. It makes me feel like I've done something for myself. I've pushed through something really hard that day and I've done it. And it feels so good when you just keep with your goals, even though you're still in the grind and you're still not feeling it. Like you said, you're just in that kind of that mood right now, that sadness, that uh, sometimes that's how we feel. But if you just keep going, you'll be so happy when you get out of that. And you're like, fuck yeah, I did that. I did that hard thing. I pushed through everything and I kept going. But I think you build that um, on
It's
your journey.
resilience.
It takes
Yeah,
time. I remember when you build it and you start very little by little. And when you hit, years down the road, you go harder and longer. And but you've done it. You can look back in time and see, look where I've came from. Look where I'm at. And sometimes when I hit those times that, like right now, I'm like, do I really want to compete again? Do I? And then when I think about it and all the fun women I meet and the time that I have and oh my gosh, I have the coolest things that happen when I'm on my journey. There is something that happens when you're on a journey, whether it's to compete or a health journey, to get fit for something and to look a certain way. There are just little miracles along the way that happen that keep you going, that the reasons why you're doing it. And when those things happen to you, somebody says something to you, or you have a thought come into your head, you're like, yeah, yeah. And it makes you feel like I'm on the right road. Like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Those moments are cool. And you just remember those moments because I'm right there with you, Brooklyn. I mean, I haven't turned pro yet. I haven't been on 3 pro stages. Like, that's pretty damn cool. But I'm beginning competing in the fall, and I have to push through a lot of things. Like I haven't told my husband I'm competing yet, so there are things that I that I still have to do and fight through, and maybe risk somebody not being happy and getting upset with me, and like real things in my life that I have to, you know, do. So yeah, that it's all just a process, and if you want it bad enough, you'll just keep going. But I've let things slip from me before, so I don't know. I have people that know what I love to do and that know I love things, and so they'll always remind me who
Yeah.
they know I am, and so that's important. But I don't know. It's just a journey that I swear you're always on. It's like you get where you think you are supposed to be, and then you've got to get up a little bit higher and you've got to keep going. You just can't sit. you just can't sit and wallow. Sometimes that's the worst thing, is just, it's like those thoughts are in your head and you just have to constantly push out of them. Yeah. I'm there with you too, Brooklyn. It's sometimes it's a lot, and you just got to keep remembering and reminding yourself who you are, and why you do these things and why they're so important to you and how they make you feel and the people that come along the way. I don't know, I'm talking a lot, but
No, I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful for people to like hear that this side of like it's not always like an easy thing for us to keep
no,
going. That like we initially started this call with like fat loss and like things we do, but this is the mental side of it, and the mental side is like the thing that will take you out the quickest if you let it. And so you have to I think like you're talking about a lot of things that I think a lot of women neglect, and they just again they let their emotions take over, their worries take over, and stop. They stop working towards it because of that. And you're talking about the resilience, the mental fortitude that it takes for women to keep going and working towards their goals, regardless of like what other people say, toes that they might step on, or even their own like mental psyche that they have to work through
yeah,
in order to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Because sometimes that's the most challenging part is your mental like your self-talk. And I feel like that will either get you where you want to be, or it'll take you out. Like, which one is it going to be this time? So if you've got the right people in your corner, like my coach right now, this is a big reason why I switched coaches, is because I didn't feel like my coach was in my corner. Like I felt like he was not talking to me and believing in me in moments that I needed that lifter upper. I needed someone to lift me up. But my coach, I just finished my first show with him, my last coach, or my current coach. I got done with my show and I felt hella discouraged. I felt super like, I don't like know if this is even in the cards for me. Like, we should probably just stop. And he sat on the phone with me for like 45 minutes and talked
that's
me off the
amazing.
ledge and built me up and lifted me up and reminded me like of, who I am, and what, like not just from like a competitive standpoint, but like from like a mom and being a business owner. And so like sometimes too, I think it's really important to like lean on other people in your corner to kind of carry you through those times, because sometimes
Yeah.
you don't have the ability to fully do it yourself. And so like in those times, in those moments, like I have to remember what my coach said, and I have to like lean on other people. And I know last year when I was trying to accomplish my goal of going pro, I look back and I'm like, man, the only reason why I went pro is because I had people in my life who literally believed in me more than I believed in myself. And that was you. That
I
was
always knew
Jordan.
you do it.
And yeah, and Paul, like Paul was a big part of that too. He was great of just like, okay, let's just one more show, like let's go. And so again, I'm not hating on him in this podcast because he was a very pivotal part of my journey. But it got to a point where I needed someone who believed in me in this next level, like that I'm at as a
Yeah,
pro. And so I think sometimes like and I'm talking about like competitive bodybuilding, but you can apply it to anything. You can apply it to
yeah,
just weight loss. You can apply it to anything, like if you're first time getting on a stage, or you just want to lose like that last 10, 15, 20 pounds, whatever, or you have 60 pounds to lose. Like, you can apply this to anything. You have to have people in your corner who believe in you. Without that, like you're probably going to, in your mind, you will talk yourself off. You will literally just jump off the cliff. Like, you will literally just jump off of it
yeah,
because you don't have anybody to pull you back. You don't have anybody sitting there like saying no, like we're not doing that. Like, let's go this way. Like, let's go this way. Let's try it this way. that's, I think, a big reason why it's super important to have coaches and people in your life who believe in you and build up your support system that way. I have really good friends too. And not only do I have a great coach and like you, mom, and like a great husband, but like I have really good friends who believe in me, who like support me and lift me up. So I think like it's taken me years to build that. You know, I've always had a good husband. I've always had you, but like I have to hire help, right?
Yeah.
I've had to go out and invest money in people to, does it feel weird to pay someone to believe in me?
No.
No, because it's me investing in myself. It's a turnaround. It's like you believe in me, so here's my money. Like let's do this. And so I think like that's a huge part of it. And if I look back at my journey, like from my heaviest weight that I've ever been at my lowest point in my life to where I am today, it has a lot to do with the people in my life and in my corner. And honestly, a lot of those people they were coaches that I hired. They were mentors. And I know, the same thing with you, mom. Like those people are like I didn't do what I haven't gotten to where I am today by myself. There's no way in hell I would be where I am today without other people. And so I think that's really important to remember. Like if you keep trying to do, like I feel like a lot of women try to do it themselves and they just keep getting stuck. I'm like, well, there's a reason why you're stuck. It's because you can only see this far, you know? Um, yeah. So like, I think that's really important. I was gonna share something and then I kind of spaced out because I started doing that.
I did
I
that
told
last week.
myself
I
to stop.
totally did that last
Told
week.
myself to stop crying. Well, we were in the car and I was talking to Jordan and I just I just like don't understand you know Ryan's like told me multiple times he's like you're gonna be up on like you're gonna be at the Olympia.
That's pretty cool, Brooklyn.
I just for me I don't believe it. There's part of me that's like really, and then there's part of me that's like I don't think that's gonna happen. Um, and I and then Jordan said he goes I said I can only see this far, and he goes yeah, but that's why you have coaches because they see this far. They see where you can go. They see like your potential. That's why you have coaches, right? Um, but that's hard because sometimes you can only see so far, and for me, I only can see so far with myself. And so if you're stuck, like it, maybe it's time to just lean a little bit more either on your coach currently or get one who really like firmly believes in you. Because yeah, my coach, he's told me many times, like more times than and to be honest, I don't know if I fully believe it, but he believes in me, and so that makes me believe that it might be possible to achieve a certain goal. Um, and that's why we have like Jordan said, he's like that's why we have coaches, and that's why we have, and I think about it with my clients. I'll have my clients come to me and I see like they'll send me their photos or like I have one client, I'm just gonna shout her out, my client Kristen. When she came to me, I've shown you pictures, mom, you met Kristen in
Oh
Texas a few
yeah.
years ago.
He's doing
She came to
amazing.
me yeah, she's about to compete in like the next like what 11
Oh,
weeks or something like
I'm
that.
happy for her.
And when she originally came to me, I know competing wasn't even on her mind. She came to me and she just wanted to like lose weight and just feel confident. And as we worked together, she started building this confidence in herself. And she finally, said to me like, I know this is like far fetched, but I don't know, like, what do you think about competing? And this is after we'd worked together for a year. And I was like, of course, Kristen, like, absolutely, of course you can get on stage. Like, you're going to look fantastic. And she's like, really? You think so? And that's the thing about having a coach is like, you're here, but your coaches can see, if they're a good coach, they can visualize what your potential is because they've done it with other clients. They have maybe done it themselves, and they believe in you. And that's why it's so important to have a good coach in your corner, because like I've done that with a lot of my, like with Kristen, like she's about to get on stage, she's got like a suit, she looks so good right now, and she's achieving something that she probably never thought would happen. She's a mom of four, and she did it. My same with Brittany. Like we'll use Brittany as an example. When she came up to me at the gym, she was like, "Wow, you look so amazing. I'd love to look like you." And I'm like, "You could like, And she's like, "Really? I don't think that'll ever happen for me." And when she came to me, her goal originally was never to get on stage, but as we started working together for a few years, she built up the confidence, and I brought it up to her. I said, "What do you think about getting on stage? You look awesome." And she was like, "I don't know if I could do that." And I'm like, "I think you should do it." And she did, and she looked insane, and she
He
now
was
like
jacked.
literally is more jacked than me, like, and that's what a good coach does, though. That's where having a good coach, because your coach, and Jordan reminded me of that while we were driving, and he goes, "Well, that's why you have a coach, because your coach, they can see your potential. We just can't. Like there's something that I don't know, unless you're like an extremely overly confident person, sometimes we really do struggle to see that where we could actually be. But I know as a coach myself, I view my clients that way. I when they come to me, I don't see them where they are in that moment. I can see the struggles and I can help them through that, but I only can see this is where we're gonna be. This is where you're gonna end up. And I think that's the whole point. Like that's why we have coaches. And that's why we have people in our corners who believe in us, because, that was a big reason for my shift is in coaching too, is I needed someone who really just, and that's why I ended up going with Ryan, because it was the conversation I had on the phone with him. He was like, he just believed in me, and I was like, okay, well, I need that right now because I don't believe in myself. So sometimes you have to lean on other people and their belief in you and your ability to achieve that goal, because that might be all you have. And I will say that's, for me, that's something right now that's keeping me going. Because I asked him, I said, I might just be done for a while. And he goes, "Brooklyn, you're going to regret it if you quit." And
Yes,
this
he
is
did.
from someone who's coached like Olympians and other, like he himself has done bodybuilding, like pro bodybuilding. And so I'm like, okay, you're right.
I think
Um,
that's another question we have to always ask ourselves. Am I going to regret this? I mean, am
are
I
you
going
gonna
to
regret it?
regret not going for it or keeping at this? Like, am I going to regret it down the road? Because more often than not, yeah. I mean, these goals are so important and they make you feel good, but boy, you do hit those dark times that you really have to, like you said, lean into your coach, lean into those people that know you and love you and know who you are and what you love. You really have to lean into that. Yeah, it can
Yeah.
sometimes that's all you have at the moment until you get that oomph back. And
Yeah,
because I
it's
know,
true.
Brooklyn, you will get that fire back in you. It's just right now, just you're in the middle of it. And I swear, the battles in our mind are always the worst. They are the worst we have to push through. I mean, we've got so many voices that come at us for everything in life, and they can make you question everything you're doing. But, are you going to regret this? Those are some really big words I think your coach said to you. Yeah, you would. I know that about you, Brooklyn. I know that about
Yeah.
me.
I
That was a
yeah.
very pivotal conversation. Yeah, he's a good coach.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just what I needed. Whether or not I get to where I want to be at this season, I think I needed someone to believe in me. And so, having a coach in your corner really does make a difference. Like it really, does help. So, I know we started this call about
Fat
what do
loss.
we do for fat loss? I think you know, this kind of comes back to it though, because, if you don't have the right people in your corner and you don't have people that believe in you, um, it's gonna be easy for you to talk yourself to quitting and just being done. Because a lot of the times, that goal, I know this was the case for me. I can look back at my year last year. The moment I wanted to quit, the most is I did not, because I had people in my corner who were like, keep going. Like, I believe in you. I believe in you. And if without that, I would have 100% quit.
Well, and
So I
you,
think sometimes,
well, you had been to Disney, was it Disney World or Disneyland? And you ate right before
Disneyland.
you won your pro card. Like you ate and you were about done with it. You're like, I'm not going to compete. I'm not going to do it. I just had a big week of eating and you ended up winning your pro card. And I remember you have said this many times, but it's often the times that we win the biggest that we have been at the lowest. And so to get out of the lowest and get to the highest, sometimes it is such a big leap. And you just have to go with that leap of faith and with how people believe in you. And you don't want to regret not doing it because it's what you love to do with everything in you. But those are your biggest wins or after your, hardest loses or, but yeah, it's just, getting there sometimes is really hard. But when you make it high, it's always like, frick, I can't believe I almost quit. I can't believe I almost didn't do this. And then the people that you inspire and help along the way, there's so many people that learn from your story, Brooklyn, and from things that you struggle with, because I think most people struggle with the same things. We just don't talk about it a lot because things in your mind, it's like, who wants to admit to their weaknesses? But to me, it's the weaknesses that make you rise so high and so strong. It's those weaknesses because you just push harder and you learn those things along the way to help you keep going. Yeah. But yeah, we have talked about a lot of different things, haven't we?
no, I think this is all kind of lining up, because we're both kind of in the same
Same place.
headspace. Um, you can be in different levels in your life with certain things, but still be in the same headspace as other people.
Right.
I have a lot of clients that are in this headspace right now. And so I think that this is applicable because, sometimes you do get tired. Like
You
sometimes you do
do.
want to just say, do I even want to do this anymore? But I think the answer is almost always, of course I want to do this. Like I love it. Like for me, I love competing. I love bodybuilding. Paul used to always say, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to stop lifting and stop tracking your food? I'm like, no. I'm not going to stop that because I love progressing. I love progress. I love working towards a goal. I even said to Ryan, I said, look, if I wasn't doing competitions, I said, I'd be off running marathons or something. I'd be
Yep.
doing some extreme something because that's just my personality, right? And so I think yeah, no, I think it's applicable because we all kind of get to that level of oh, I'm tired.
Mhm.
But I think not letting your emotions fully take over. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm super emotional. I've been depressed. I've been really sad. I've been I would say the number one feeling I feel right now is just defeated. I just feel kind of what's the point of me doing this anymore? But I know if I lean into that too much and I let that take over, I won't be able to show up in the ways I want to show up, right? So sometimes, and I know last year that was the case. I remember feeling after USA's, and especially after I think it was
Yeah.
um, North Americans, I was like, whatever, dude. I took 8 weeks. I think it was 8 weeks was the time frame from North Americans to the Olympia. Maybe it was 6 or 7. And then I showed up. I went from fourth, and then I showed up and I got my pro card. And that right there, it was like the moment of me quitting, I almost quit. And so like sometimes the moments you're about to quit is the time you need to just keep going. So I think that's kind of the moral of the story here is just like do it. Just go. Just do it. Just make it happen. Make the decision to just like go all in and go for it. And regardless of how you feel, like if you love it and it's something you wanted, or I should say if it's something you've wanted and it's something you like and it's something you enjoy, then go for it.
That gives me
So,
chills. Yeah, we all need to hear that because I'm just with you. Sometimes you're like, oh, I am tired, but it does make you so happy. And you just have to push through those moments. Yeah, that gives me chills,
yeah.
Brooklyn. You're going to make that stage.
Yeah. I, I don't know. When I say I don't believe in it anymore, I am like very, it's one of those things that I'm like, I'm going to keep going. Like, I'm going to keep trying. But I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. Like, I'm not going to say, like, it's going to happen, but I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Like, it could. It could happen. But if not, it's okay because I gave it my all. And that's all I can say I did. So, yeah, I think,
Just
yeah,
never
let's,
stop.
before I cry again, maybe we wrap this up before I cry again on this
Oh,
podcast,
I
I
love you,
guess.
Brooklyn.
Sorry.
I believe wholeheartedly in you. You're going to be amazing when you hit stage again. And I know it's hard sometimes because we're just deep in the grind and tired, like you said. I'm tired too. And
Yeah.
you just keep going. And I love that you can lean on your coach. Like, what a gift that is. Like, those people in your lives, they really are
Oh,
gifts. I mean, you think about how they show up in the perfect time in your life to help you through these critical moments and to get you where you need to be. So, yeah, you're going to make it.
oh, that be awesome. I'd
Would
be so
be.
happy.
I know.
um,
I know. The
yeah,
Olympia. Wow.
it'd be
It's a huge
cool.
goal.
It seems like really far away for me right now, though. I won't lie. It feels like real in the sense like out of reach. It feels very out of reach. Um, but things can change, right? A lot could change in like 8 weeks. I think I'm 7 weeks out from my next show. I thought about maybe doing St. Pete Pro, which is in like 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm like, I probably need a little bit more time off, just to build a little bit more my glutes. So,
Yeah, I think the
um,
time off sometimes is necessary to regroup. And like 2 months is a long time off. Like,
yeah,
but then you
I
can
mean,
get it
there's a lot of
stronger.
improvements.
Yeah,
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 I
a
can
lot
improve a lot
happens.
in 2 months.
Yeah, every week there's
Because
a lot.
I think about my look from North Americans to when I won my pro card. I want to say, because me and you did that one together. Let's see. That
Oh,
was
is that
that
August or
was a fun one.
September?
That was like the end of August. It was like August 29th. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I took 6 weeks off of like just stage and I just built. We just focused on building. And I came with a totally different look. Um, because I was lifting heavy too. Like I was like going back into the gym and enjoying lifting like heavy again. So a lot can happen. A lot can happen in 6 weeks, in 8 weeks. Well, I think I'm right now because because Tampa is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 weeks. Oh shit. Yep, I'm only 6 weeks out.
We come up
Okay,
quick.
same time frame as the Olympia, I guess. Well, we went on our trip last week, and my coach like I'm like texting him, and he's like, literally, chill the F out and just enjoy your trip. I just need you to chill.
That is hard sometimes when you're just used to being on track. Those trips can really mess with your
Yeah,
head. They can.
yeah. I think you should do Nashville. Like, just do it.
Oh, I love
Um,
Nashville. It's like Oh, the women there, it's an all women show and it's a national show. And I've made friends with all these
So
girls and I've stayed friends with them for 2 years. And so, I know I think about it. And then the fashion shows there also, but all the women that are going to be
do
there
it.
that were there last time with me, like they're the coolest women. And I just love hanging with them. And you become friends and then you follow each other and get to see what each other's doing. And they're still just, holy crap, there's some strong women out there. Yeah, I know
Just do it
Nashville's
all.
fun. Their stage is pink and purple. So yeah,
That's like the
it's a
best.
fun, I know. It's such a fun stage.
Do it. You should just
Yeah,
do
I
it and just
know.
say, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Let's go.
Just for
Like
fun.
me, I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I know.
Just
And
go
I
all
need to
in,
just,
both feet.
yeah. My biggest thing is I don't pose consistently. So that's one of my things I have to, I text myself every day, pose, pose. And yeah.
You're like, why do I have all these texts that say pose?
I I text
Pose.
myself a lot of crap, so I'll remember. Yeah, that is a fun stage.
I'll text you pose. I'll text you every morning I pose. I pose before I do anything. So I actually will
I should
wake
do
up and
that.
I do my posing first thing because I hate it. I hate
I
posing. It
know.
is my least favorite thing in the world. It does not come natural to me. And so I practice and actually
I
helps me
should do
wake up a
that
little
first
bit
thing.
because it gets my heart rate up, eccentric holds and stuff.
Oh,
So like I'll do that for 10 to 15 minutes. I go through like a YouTube video of like call outs and then I get on my treadmill and I walk and then I do my lifts. Um, yeah. So maybe try that. Just do it first thing in the
I should
morning.
do that.
Just rip the band-aid off.
That's a great way to look at it. Rip it off. I know. Do it.
Just
You
do
know.
it. Yeah, it's like eating your veggies first, right? Like nobody wants to eat veggies. Well, some people
I
do,
know.
but like, and then you save dessert for last so you can or first. But anyways, well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. For those of you listening today, please share this podcast. Please subscribe if you're not subscribing. Please subscribe. It definitely helps keeps us motivated to continue to put out podcasts. Share this with anybody you think might need this. Subscribe, share. And if you guys have any subjects you'd like us to cover for next time, go ahead and message those to me. You can go to my Instagram at Brooklyn Goodsell or comment below. And thank you guys for hopping on and watching today.
Bye.
Bye.